All right, welcome back, eSIM Studios. Now, I wanted to go through on the new Google Pixel 8 Pro in blue. Wanted to go through the camera options that are available for this device. Now, it has been upgraded, or they did add I guess a Pro mode feature to this camera on this device that I wanted to go over, which is different from the other Pixel devices. Now, I do not know if they are going to add Pro features to the previous models in a future update. I doubt it. I think this is a new feature only on the Pixel 8 series and moving forward. Don't quote me on that, but I just believe it's for this device and this device only in future devices. Now, once going into the camera, let's go into the camera and go through some of these different options that they have available. Now, they have a easy switch, which is different on the bottom. As you can tell, in the past, they would have these settings that you can scroll from left to right. In the past, they would have this scroll option up on the screen, and then you would simply scroll over to video. Now, the default is photos, but if you wanted to move to video, you just simply tap on the video option down here at the bottom, and that has Pro mode features as well. Now, let's start off with the camera. Now, on the camera, you have options down here at the bottom to do a 0.5 ultra wide angle. You can have 1, 2x, and then 5x. Now, these are not customizable. These are preset to these only. Now, you don't have to just press on these. Look, if you wanted, you can scroll and swipe to set your adjustment to fine tune. Or if you wanted to go past 5x, for example, you can scroll to your desired magnification like that, and it goes up to 30x on the camera option. Now, look up top. You see where it says 50 megapixel? I had that set into Pro mode on 50 megapixels. And before we get into how to change that, let's look at the different modes you have for your still photo or still cameras sensors on the back. You have a night sight, which you can set to manual or automatic, and you can set how long the exposure is by clicking there. 1 second max. Now it goes up to 3 seconds, I believe, depending on how much light is available at your particular time of photo. Let's get out of there. Now you have your normal photo, which is highlighted down at the bottom. You have portrait mode, which you can focus on. Let's focus on that bottle right there. And look, you have 1.5x or 2x. So you can see how the bottle, you can click on the bottle as your subject, and everything else in the back is fuzzy. You see the TCL logo right there where my thumb is blurred out. Let's go to 2x. And then focus in on it right there. And let's take a photo at 2x, and let's take a photo at 1.5. Focus in on the bottle. Boom. Now, simply click on the image, and you can tell everything in the back is blurred out. Whoops. Let's go back and look at the 2x. Pretty good photo quality. And you can star it up here, favorite it. Tells you it's in the photo was taken in portrait mode. What does this do? Let's look at the 3-dot menu. 3-dot menu takes you to the settings and or details of the photo. You can back it up to your Google Photos app. You can add to an album if you have a specific albums set. You can also delete it from your device. You can order a photo. Now that goes through Google Photos app. You can order pictures, special prints, and stuff like that. Let me change the default timeout on the display to, let's just do this for shits and giggles, 30 minutes. so it doesn't time out on me. And let's go to full blast. Now, as I said, you can order your photos. You can move to a locked folder if you have a private folder that you have in your photo album. You can use as, meaning a as a wallpaper on either your home screen or your lock screen. You can add it to a slideshow if you wanted to combine this to a slideshow, whether you want to combine it or start a new one. You can print it, or you can ask for help and feedback. Down here it gives you the details when it was taken, and you can add some notes right there as well at that section right here. Sample. Okay. Then this will give you what device it was. The sample was purchased. Sample was taken on. Gives you the aperture, the ISO reading, all the details up underneath it. And then down here it gives you the file name of that specific photo. As you can tell, it's .portrait on the end. So if you're looking at a file, you know which one that is, and it was in portrait. Gives you the megapixels, the resolution, and it was an Ultra HDR, and it's saved on the device 3.7 megabytes. I do not, and it's got you the file location, storage location of this photo, of where it's saved in the file or folder. And you can add a location if you want to. Now, if you add a location, locations can only be added to backed up photos. So you would have to back it up to your cloud and then add. You can set it on auto backup. I have not had mine set on auto backup, so that's why it's asking. I think by default it's already set on auto. So that's what you get from each photo from the three-dot menu. You can favorite it. What does that do? Add it to where you can view the photo in your Google Photos app. And then what else? This, you can display it on wirelessly display this image on a screen through, I guess, Miracast or something like that. You have to have a wireless network in both devices. This Pixel and your monitor need to be connected onto the same network for that to work. Again, I'll tell you it's in portrait mode. And I guess that says it was taken by a camera, and if it was a video, it would show a video camera up top. Now, down here at the bottom, you can order the photo, which we already showed. You can do that, where was it? Right here. Let's go back. And you see where it says sample? That's where I put the caption in there. Now, if you want to delete it, you can delete it. If you want a lens is basically, it'll search the photo. Watch. So I'm going to move this Ozarka bottle. Let's do this. Let's take another photo. Let's go here. Let's put it in portrait. Let's focus on the subject, and let's do this. Focus on it. Take a shot. Okay, now with this one, look. Lens will basically Google search whatever you took a photo of. So it's looking, it sees Ozarka, it searched Google as Ozarka natural spring water. So you can take photos of stuff if you don't know what it is or a brand. It works for, I believe it works for flowers, trees. It'll identify plants, flowers. What else can you, basically anything, a car, it'll Google search a car if you don't know what model it is and you just have a photo of it. And stuff like that. So that comes in useful as well. Let's see what else we have. You can edit this as well. So if you go to edit, it pulls up dynamic. You can make the photo more dynamic. You can enhance it. It plays with the color combination, as you can tell. You can make it warm. You can make it cool. Suggestions. This will let you know. You can ask the phone what is the best way to enhance this photo, and it'll let you know. Oh, duh. I'm already on suggestions. If you scroll on the bottom, it gives you different options as well. So suggestions are this right here. I'm sorry. Now, crop. You can crop it. however you want, like this. You can give it a depth effect. Press and hold to preview. So if something's off-centered or you need to crop something, you can kind of play with it like that. And what does this do? Auto. If something's off-centered, you can hit auto and it'll automatically, see how it twisted it a little bit to make it, because the phone was off-centered? You can hit auto, boom, and it'll automatically go back to adjusting it. And this, what is this? I guess you can change the dimensions of the photo. So if you wanted to do 16 by 9, you can do it that way, or you can turn it sideways, however you want. Original, there we go. And let's see, tools, portrait blur. You can blur the background even more. Now, this was originally taken in portrait mode. If you take a photo, a regular photo not in portrait mode, a regular photo, no portrait, you can actually go in here and make it a portrait video. And you can intensify how much depth, see how much it blurred out the background, or you can make it less blurry or more blurry. In depth, you can how far back behind the subject you took a photo of is from that subject. So you can make them real farther back, or you can make it closer, stuff like that. So that's a really, really cool feature you can play around with. Unblur, you can make it a non-portrait, even though it was already originally a portrait, but you can play with it that way. Now, the magic eraser. This is cool. This has been played with this quite a bit. Simply, if you want to erase something, now none of these subjects are perfect. Like if you had one of these earbuds that was not next to each other, or the mouse, if it was just by itself in the photo, you can basically erase it like this. Does give it a minute because it does have to edit the photo. Some come out better than others. This was in portrait mode. It works best if it's not in portrait. But you get the idea. It works really, really well. Right now, it's just, I did not take you know what, let's do this. Watch. Let's put this here. Let's get out of all this. I'll go back. Swipe it away. Let's go back to camera. Let's take it in regular photo. Excuse me. Okay. So let's go to edit. And let's go to tools. Let's go to magic eraser. And then we'll simply erase the subject. And then it'll do its magic. And it'll erase it just like that. Now, camouflage, let's try that. Circle or brush to camouflage. Let's see what that does. Sweet. So it kind of modifies it or blends it in with the background. You see what that did? This was originally black, and you hit camouflage, it'll blend it in with the subject. See that? It's pretty cool. So if this was a white table, not a wood table, if it was white, it would turn this white. It kind of blends it in. Just helps when you're editing photos, depending on what the photo you have taken. So that's your tools. You adjust. You got all your normal things you can adjust here. You have brightness, contrast, HDR effect, white point, highlights, shadows, black point, saturation, warmth, tint, skin tone, blur, blue tone. You can give it some pop. You can sharpen the image. You can denoise it. Takes the noise out, obviously. And you can vignette. I've never really seen that one. This one has a dot next to it. I don't know why. Maybe that's an important edit that it can do. Let's see what the pop does. So these are just a bunch of different controls you can play with. Gives it some extra cool features. Now, what is this bottom left icon? What is that for? Well, I was messing around with this the other day. Let's see here. Let's save that. And watch. Let's go down to edit. Hit that. Please back up this photo to use Magic Editor. Damn it. Let's back it up. I thought it was backed up. Back up now. So it'll upload it to the cloud. And then with this Magic Editor, it kind of, this is where the AI kicks in. If you want to Magic Editor, make editing even easier with an all-new AI experience from Labs, remove distractions, move your subjects around, improve backgrounds, and more. This feature is in its early stages and won't always get it right, but you can help improve Magic Editor for everyone by leaving feedback. And no thank you. So, oh, I'm stupid. I was supposed to hit yes. Okay, tap, circle, or brush to select. Tap and hold select area to move or resize. Zoom in for fine-grained selection. And you can move that over here. Or you can make it bigger. Like, damn, those are some big earbuds. This will also change backgrounds. If you took a picture of yourself with a friend, with the backdrop being New York City, and you're on top of the Empire State Building, this Magic Editor will also change the background. So let's say it's around lunchtime, and it's like the sun is right at the top of the sky. This Magic Editor you can change the background to make it look like it was a sunset, right? To make it look like you took it at like 6:30 p.m. right before the sun went down. Really, really cool options. This one's just telling me you can only move this because it's just a basic shot for the table or the subject. But if you do it in the outside, you can change the horizon to be morning, afternoon. You can change it to a purple effect. This is a really bad example for me, not really showing its capabilities, right? But let's do this. All right, screw that. Let's go photos. Let's try this. If I can do Magic Editor here. Please, I thought I did. Lord have mercy. Come on now. Add to album. I thought I backed it up. Well then, that didn't work out too well. Anyways, you get the idea what Magic Editor is. Let's move on. It's cool to play with. Do I have any photos that are backed up? Is that one backed up? Oh, I see. That button right there will upload it. Now, let's go back to this. Let's back that up and then try it on this one real quick. And I'll go through the pro features. Tap, circle, or brush to select. So I selected the wall back there. Tap and hold selected area to move or resize. Let's see what erasing does. I don't really have any good photos. I should for the Magic Editor, but you get the idea. I can't really erase a wall, right? You can add, what did it add there? It added like some cabinets or something. I have no idea because that wasn't there in the original. So it'll give you one effect here, and then you can go through it, and it gives you a different set of additions it made. That is really weird. It looks like some pipes are going along the wall, and you got different stuff hanging from the wall on this one, and then that one get a new set of results. So it uses AI to modify these different images. Let's try, do I have something outside? Let's try this. Let's back that up. And I'll touch him and see, or we'll see if we can remove people in the background. No, let's do this. So we're going to remove that guy. And let's see what it gives us. So it uses the cloud to get its AI generation ideas and formulations, and then implements it back onto the device. So there it erased the man, and it gives you it looks like it's a pretty, now look, it did leave a shadow or as a reflection down there at the bottom. But look how good of a job it did with removing him. It doesn't even look like anybody was there. And it just gives you a little different modifications from each photo. So you get the idea. Now try it. If you have this phone, try it. I guarantee you it looks awesome. Do it with a photo of you and somebody in a background. You can change the images. You can just play with it and do tons of stuff. Damn it, I said I was not going to do another one, but just for shits and giggles, let's back this up. Okay. Edit. Let's do this. Now let's touch the sky, and I'll show you what I was saying. I knew I had one photo in there. Okay. Now, what is the plus or minus? I guess add to it? No? Huh. Well, let's see what it does. It should give us some kind of cool result. See how the background is different? No clouds, clouds, different clouds. So you get the idea. All right, so, and then when you share, you can modify, which we just did, create links to somebody to view it. You can send it in photos. You can add it to an album. Basically, it just gives you different options, right? Another edit photo, another edit icon right there if you did edit the image before you send it, and you can do nearby share messages. It'll give you your contacts on top, and it'll give you different apps you can share it with on the bottom, and all your sharing apps that are available to share it with. Now, going back into photos, you got night sight, which we just tried. You have panorama, which you can do like a 360. It'll have you a 360 view of where you're at. And you have night sight, we just got into. This is a regular photo. You have portrait mode here, we just did. Long exposure, and then you have action pan for moving items. Now, what if you wanted to put it in pro mode, right? So, with this, you have two options. You can do the quick settings. Now, hold up, we're in long exposure. Let's put it on photo. You have this down here at the right and then down here at the left. Down at the left are full settings for your shot. Down here at the right, you have quick settings, which you can do. You can reset to factory settings on the left here. Reset all. You can adjust the brightness and look up top. You have your current settings at the moment, but you can change brightness. You can change the shadow. You can change white balance, your focus, your shutter speed, your ISO. Everything is movable from left to right. So you can move it just like this. You can put it on auto. You can put cool, hot, whatever you want. And what else? White balance, brightness, do all that stuff. So let's put it back to normal. Okay, so those are the quick settings. Now, if let's say you want to change the sensor from the 12 megapixel ultra wide to the 50 megapixel ultra wide, or regular sensor. So you go click here, remember in camera. Now here's what we got. Portrait, damn it, let's go to regular photo, because that'll give you portrait settings. But what if you just want to do regular photo? Here's the general options and then your pro options. General, you got more. Here's your flashlight options on auto or full on. Right now it's set to full off. Top shot, available there only when it says top shot not available. Top shot is unavailable when one of these features is on. Flash, social media depth features, night sight, selfie illumination, high resolution. I have mine set for social media depth features, and we'll go through that in the settings in a second. You can set a timer if you have it on a tripod and you want to jump into the photo. Macro focus, which it's on right now. You see that little flower in the middle? That's for macro mode. That's for if you want to shoot something very, very close up. When it highlights, it's on macro. And when it goes off, it's not in macro. On macro, off macro. See it switch sensor? Now, let's go back into here. You have ratios, where how you can change your aspect ratio. Right now it's at 4:3, and you can also put it on 16:9, and it looks like that. It gives you more 16:9 viewing angles, and it'll auto switch, auto rotate, even if you have auto rotate off. So let's do this. Auto rotate is off. It'll rotate automatically because it knows you're in camera mode. So, nope, I was wrong. It stays in regular. You have to have it in auto rotate for the sensor to rotate, or screen to rotate. Okay, I was wrong. Going back. Here's what 4:3 looks like. So you got two options, 4:3 or 16:9. Now this is for the photo. Now, let's go to Pro settings. This is where you can change the sensor. I have it in 50 megapixels just because I like more detail in my photos. But if you want to switch to, let's say you have a 128 gig phone and you want to save storage, you can keep it in 12 megapixel most of the time. Here's where you can change. If you want a raw image, you simply select raw. Now this is raw plus JPEG, so it'll not only give you a raw image if you select raw, but it'll also save it in a JPEG as well, where that is simply just JPEG only. Lens selection, now it's set to auto, right? Manual, I've had it in auto, but it stays on 50. Like, watch. Lens selection auto. Let's go to 50 megapixel, and it'll tell you it's in 50 megapixel up here at the top. See that icon? It says 50 MP. So now look, it won't switch, I don't believe. It goes to macro automatically. But it stays. If you manually select it, it stays. That is just locks it in. Although, again, mine has never switched off from 50, and it's been in auto, so I'm not sure what scenario it will switch. But let's go to, and now you would only want to leave it in auto to get like the best shot. Like, what if you're in 50 megapixel, but you need the ultra wide, or you need the 12 megapixel to get the best shot? Auto basically will do it for you. But I don't believe mine has switched yet. Of course, at least I haven't noticed it. Now, for the camera settings, you can save your location. You get the camera sounds. Google Lens suggestion, we went over that. Social media sharing. Here's where, when you go into here and you take a photo, this button right down here, you can change these options. After you take a picture, watch. Let's take, boom, take a picture. Look, you swipe it up. it's these options here. So you can change these options. You can change it from nearby share. I have nearby share by default sharing in nearby share, Google Messages, and or YouTube for posting to YouTube, right? Now you can change those if you go to this and then you go to more settings. Look, you have only two options. I think nearby share is on by default, and then you can change those two that I had, Messages and YouTube. You can put it on Google Meet. You can put it on Messages, Telegram, Google Voice, and YouTube. Now, you can have others. Like if you uninstall Telegram, this option will be missing. If you install WhatsApp or something, that'll be on here. So it just depends on what apps you have on your phone. It'll add it by default or automatically, and whether you select it on or off is your choice. But if you have an app where you can share a photo, they'll automatically install it, and you can simply choose if you want to add it on that little quick share button. Volume button shortcuts, that just lets you know if you want to take a photo using the volume button. Frequent faces, this will let you know if when you take a picture, if you're always in a picture with your wife, your daughter, even a pet, a dog, it does identify pets uniquely. Your dad, you can set, it'll recognize faces, and then it'll ask you, who is this? Who is this? And you type in, oh, that's my dad. Or you type in, that's my wife, or that's my cat. Every time you take a photo of your dog or a cat that person is in it, it'll save it to that specific album automatically. So every time if you want to pull up all the pictures of your dad, boom, you go to your dad album in Google Photos, and it'll have all those images right there for you. Device storage, you can choose storage saver. Now, depending on what storage size you have, this is all personal preference. Obviously, you can play with that, free up your space. Let's go to advanced. Here's where dirty lens warning, store videos efficiently, social media depth features. Actually, I thought mine was on, but it's off. Depth data will be saved. This data may be used by social media apps. Top shot will be turned off, and photos may take longer to process. This just has to deal with how they look, and also, social media apps have different resolutions and stuff. They're all different. So if you're on social media and do a lot of posting, you may want to have that on. Enable time lapse for astrophotography. Timer light, that's for the tripod, and if you're going to be in the photo. And then rich colors in your picture, you can turn that on as well. Framing hints, it'll just extra little help tell you how to take the best shot. Here's the grid option. Photo, save selfies previewed, videos, video stabilization, audio zoom, all that good stuff. Now, let's get into the video camera. Video, same thing here. These are pre-selected. You cannot change them, but you can swipe left or right, which is easy to do and nice to do if you're holding it with one hand, right? And you want to go to 10. Well, how the heck can you go to 10? It's not on there. It only goes up to 5. Well, just simply swipe it, or 15 or 20, right? Just simply do it with one hand like that. Makes it easy. You got options on the bottom. Pan, blur for like cinematic mode, right? It'll focus on it's like portrait mode, but a video. Now, portrait video mode is or what they call blur, and I think they used to call it cinematic mode on their old one. On the did they cinematic mode? I believe that was on the 7 Pro. Maybe they changed the name of it, but that's what it is. Blur, like video portrait, only available on the back cameras. They do not have a selfie portrait video on the Pixel. They have it on Samsung, where you can record yourself recording a video through the selfie camera. Samsung has one, portrait video mode, and Pixel does not. Only portrait video mode is on the back. And you got regular standard video, and you got slow motion video. You also have time lapse for super slow. I think I shot the Eclipse in time lapse right there. Now, let's see, same editing features here real quick. You can have your mint. It tells you what slow motion. What else do we have? Shows you its video camera. You can share it to a Miracast or another display. And I guess, what is that? Oh, takes you to your photos. You can favorite it, and your menu option that we went over in the still shots. Same basic options. You got all your details here. So it's in loop mode right now. That video. Edit. You can edit the video. You can make it shorter. Volume on, volume off. You can also add stabilization, or let's see what it does. Oh, so you can add stabilization to it. See how I was moving with it off? And then you can add it and it keeps it still. So that's pretty cool. You can crop right here. Auto. See how it moved it in the back? Watch. So to crop it so it's up and down symmetrically, you can change the aspect ratio. You can move it around. You can change the depth. And you can reset it back to factory or how it was normally. And then let's see, audio. Reduce distracting sounds, audio eraser. So if you're talking and this happened last week. I was recording a video and there's a lawnmower in the background. Well, if I was filming on here on the Pixel, I was actually filming on the Samsung, but if I was filming on the Pixel, I could simply hit that and it would erase the lawnmower sounds. Now, I wasn't, can't pick up anything at that moment, but maybe we'll do an extra video on that. Let's see, you can adjust the brightness, contrast, HDR effect, white balance, or white point, highlights, shadows, black point, saturation, warmth, tint, skin tone, blue tone, however you say that, I'm not sure. Effects. You can change different effects of the video. You can add a dust mix. You can add a torn paper. You can add B and W film, black and white film. You can add Lomo, light leak, film mode, chromatic. You can add fisheye, vintage. You can add layouts, retro. Damn, I got a lot. Poster. Okay, so you can play with those. Filters, you can choose vivid, playa, honey, desert city. Oh, they got a ton. And you can go to markup, where you can add different stuff like that to your video. So if you want to circle somebody and say, and you want to say, this was the bad guy right here, or this is where the foundation cracked right there. And I don't think you can add timing or show timing to that, but it will add that to your video. And you can use a highlighter as well. You can highlight that. You can also add text and say, la-di-da, pixel. Boom. And you can add it there. Can you make it bigger? Yeah, just like that. Just drag it, pinch to zoom. So, cool stuff. Now, let's erase all that. Whatever. Discard. And then you go to share. And you got your normal options like you had with your camera. You can modify it. You can create a link for somebody to view it. Send in from Google Photos. Let's see, what does this say? Add to an album, create a new album. You got your recently contacted people up top, and you have all your sharing apps down below. You can take it to CapCut if you wanted to edit it some more, and send it to YouTube, whatever you want to do. So, very neat features. I don't think I'm missing anything. And then you have your normal general quick settings down here at the bottom for your video. You can change the exposures. And then you can change the white balance. So pretty neat. Definitely different from the last gen Pixels, but gives you enough pro features that really set it apart from the last Google Pixel 7 series and really all the Pixels in the past. But very, very neat. Yeah, I've definitely been playing with it. I'm still taking photos and comparing it for my S23 Ultra still photo comparison. I got the video one wrapped up, and it's in our gallery of videos here on YouTube, but I'm still putting together a still photo comparison. Taking portrait, you know, there's tons of different still shots you can take. I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. So I should have that out this week. So if you want to see how this phone stacks up versus the S23 with still photos, be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I will post it this week, but that'll do it for the Pixel 8 Pro camera review and or features review. And I do appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your day. And be on the lookout for more Pixel 8 Pro content. Peace out.